administrator. His job is to try to, to cool things down, start to get, the diocese going in the right direction, and then we'll bring in someone who can then take it for the rest of the way. It was a tough job, to be honest. It was very tough. And then months later, I went to Rome. Every 5 years, bishops are supposed to go to Rome. And you actually meet the Pope and you talk with him. Well, in 2004, Pope John Paul II was not in good shape at all. And he was dressed and he was in a, kind of a fancy, wheelchair type of thing. He was drooling, and it was pretty unpleasant, really. So anyway, and I was the, the youngest bishop of the 28 of us. So, they start with seniority, and they went up one by one. And what you were supposed to do is you get up to him, you kneel down, you take his hand, and you pick his hand up, and you kiss the ring. You put his hand back on his leg, and then you're supposed to stand up, and you're supposed to turn to the right and get the gift. So, I'm watching this because I don't want to make a fool of myself. So, I want to do this right. So I go up and I kneel down and I take his hand and I pick his hand up and I'm just ready to kiss it, and he talked to me. Now, he hadn't talked to the other 27 guys at all, because he wasn't able to talk, really. So he was just, just there. So, so we started to talk. My dear brother in Christ, what you have done, you have saved the Archdiocese of Boston. You kept it from falling apart, and we'll always remember you with great admiration for what you have done. I'm dying, remember me, and I promise to remember you. So, now here's a guy who now is a saint. This isn't just some Tom, Dick, and Harry you picked up in the street and brought in. This guy, he was someone who, had the most, frequent flyer miles, of any, religious figure in the world. Because that's what he did for 25 years as Pope. He went everywhere in the world, literally. And, it was a great exposure of the Catholic Church to the world. He did it himself, personally. He went to everywhere. But, so anyway, after it was all over, the Archbishop told me, he said he practiced those 2 lines for a week. He was determined he was going to say thank you to me. Wow. That was pretty, but anyway, Archbishop Harvey said, Richard, stand up. I was supposed to stand, I hadn't. Turn to the right, not the left. I didn't do well, to be very honest. But the whole notion that he would talk, and of course I didn't know what a strain it had been, just for him to be able to do those lines. And then he just sort of slouched in the, pardon me?
Did you say anything back to him?
No. No. Now, let's see, and the Holy Father Benedict, he came in 1908. He came to Washington, and then he went to New York, and then he went home. And so anyway, I saw him a few months later, and he wanted to know how everything was, and I said, "Oh, it's going fine." He said, "Were you at the meeting?" And I said, "Yeah, I was at the meeting. How's it going?" All that. And then that darn Archbishop, he's there again, and he says, "Okay, Richard, that's enough. And Benedict says to me, he said, you know, even popes get told when to be quiet. I said, that's all right. So he said, well, hope to see you again. And I said, Auf Wiedersehen. Now, he's a German, so I was trying to show off. So, he, I say Auf Wiedersehen, and he said, Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I said, Nein. All I know is that one word. Well, he got laughing. He couldn't stop laughing. It was probably the only laugh he had that week. So I did something good. But, yeah. So those are my two, interactions with popes.
How many countries have you traveled?